Hi, Sales World. Gavin Tye, founder of Sales Market Fit and Enterprise SaaS Salesperson. If you're like me and you work in the world of sales, no doubt you've repeatedly heard the saying, we need to add value in every interaction, or we need to add value during a sale as a salesperson. When I first heard this saying, it made complete sense on one hand, but completely confused me on the other. I thought, how do I add value in a sales interaction? Because not all value is equal. Once I learned how to do this repeatedly, I was able to accelerate growth or accelerate sales within my pipeline and close more deals consistently and outthink the competition. So this video today is about what I've learned in my role as an enterprise SaaS salesperson and how you can begin applying these strategies in your business today to start closing more deals effectively. So let's get into it. One of the first things I've learned is what is valuable changes during the course of a sales interaction. Now, when I break down the sale, in every sale that I go into, I break it down into the categories of the Sales Market Fit framework. Now, you can grab your copy in the comments below as a guide. Now, in the first instance, when I'm trying to generate interest with a client, when I'm trying to get them interested in what we're selling or get them to focus on the problems we solve within the business, there's only really one way I try to add value in this interaction, because they don't necessarily know me. I don't have the rapport that I would like to be able to do other things that are valuable. So I only try to do one thing, and that is to teach. I really want to teach them about the problem space that we solve. I want to demonstrate my domain expertise and get them to think of the problems that we solve or I solve with the product that I'm representing in a unique way from a different perspective. If I can get them to think about that from a unique perspective in a more simplified version, then I'm more likely to demonstrate domain knowledge in a way that they may not have necessarily thought about this, and give them the confidence to let me lead them to a better outcome with our product. Now, I may add value in other ways, but it's still basically to teach them. I may add value by introducing them to other clients, to share stories that are relevant to them in their business. But I really want to add value. I want to give first, give information, give them insight about the problem that they may not have necessarily thought of. Now, I learned this from a founder that I worked closely with for a number of years. He would go into a room and just be unparalleled in the problem space of engineering drawing management. And the people within the room just let us lead them to better outcomes. Now, in this stage, the goal here is to create an aha moment. We want them to go, right, I never thought about it like that. That's a really interesting perspective. If you can achieve that in your business, you're one step closer to closing an opportunity. They are now listening. You've separated yourself from the competition, and I would encourage you to go for that in this stage. Now, let's say that you've accomplished that goal in that first instance when you first started engaging with a client, and you've given them an aha moment, and they're now looking at the problem from a different perspective, or from a way that you're beginning to position yourself as a subject matter expert. That is my goal in my world. Now I know that they need to move into the next stage of their buying decision-making journey, and that is to really quantify the problems that they have within their business. They need to do this in order to be able to justify a purchase. People need to equate value to a purchase. So they need to know that a problem may be $20,000 or $50,000 or $100,000 worth of a problem in their business before they can justify spending an amount of money to solve that problem. Now, what I'll do in this phase of their buying journey is I'll develop tools to share with them or work with them to quantify what their current business process is costing them inside their organization. when you think about any product that you're selling to any person, it is really improving their lives to some degree. It's once you understand the real impact that you're having on that business, then you can begin developing tools to measure that impact or that current state as a line in the sand that you can begin to effectively improve. Once I learned this in my role in multiple jobs that I've been working in, it's where I really demonstrate the value that the solution I'm selling provides. I frame the problem in a way that I know our features or solution set later on will solve effectively, better than the competition. And that is my goal in this stage of their buying journey, is to help them quantify or see things that they may not have necessarily been able to see before or able to measure effectively. Now, you need to be able to measure their direct impacts and indirect impacts, and that takes a little work. It's all about iterating, failing fast, getting better with each opportunity, because you want to add value across multiple opportunities in a similar way so you can get the economies of scale from capitalizing on what you did with the client yesterday to be able to use with the client you're working with tomorrow. And that's what I have done in my role as an enterprise SaaS salesperson. Again, we want to give them an aha moment. Now, all things going well, and they've gone through this problem definition stage, they'll use those outputs in that stage to formulate a business case. It could be informal or formal, depending on the market that I'm operating in. But in your world, if you're selling B2B, there will often be some kind of justification process that a business will go through in order to justify spend. Now, saying that all goes well, now they move into requirements gathering phase. In my world, often the government organizations that I was dealing with have to go through a formal buying process or a tender process, if you will. So in this next phase of when they're doing requirements gathering or doing a scope of work or some kind of body of work to ask the market to submit proposals, what I'll do is I'll develop another set of tools to help them shave off time of this stage in their buying journey. I'll also create a solution framework that highlights our key functionality to address those problems that were early identified back earlier in the sales process. I continually want to add value. I continually want to help them along their buying journey to make it easier for them to purchase us if it was the right solution for them in their business. So if you're operating in markets when they have a formal buying process, consider developing tools to help your clients through this process as quickly as possible. If it's more informal, investigate how they make decisions in this space. Maybe it's just a sole business owner that has that authority to purchase, or maybe it's one or two people. But once you know and understand how they make those decisions, you can develop tools and strategies to help them through that stage as quickly as possible. And then it's about iterating and continually helping and adding value in that way to get better and better and better. And that's how you reduce the sales cycle over time, by adding value. There are many other stages in the sales market fit pipeline, particularly in the formal engagement process, that we're not going to get into today. But the three areas that I spoke about is, so we talked about in the generating interest section, when you're first engaging with a client, about teaching them something about the problem that they may not have considered. Demonstrate your domain expertise and how you've helped other clients through this journey as quickly as possible and repeatedly. Give them the confidence to follow you to lead them to better outcomes. Then if you do this successfully, they're going to need to quantify the value that they'll receive from you. And the way they need to do that is first understanding the starting point at which they're operating in. And that's ideal for you as well, because if you can do that, you will really understand how much value you will give that business and have a better understanding of what they're willing to pay to solve the problems in their organization. And lastly, helping them through their requirements gathering process when they're about to go to market to request a quote or pricing or a formal tender process. So I hope that helps you in understanding a few ways that you can add value. If you can do that effectively in those 3 stages, you are so far ahead of the competition they will find it hard to catch up. This strategy has worked repeatedly for me in my role or my career as an enterprise salesperson in the B2B space. So I'd be curious to know, how do you add value during your sales interactions with clients? Do you follow a set framework, or do you add bespoke value as you see fit during each interaction? Or do you have a methodology that you follow? I hope you found today's video valuable. I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe below, and I'll be releasing regular content about the importance of having the right sales strategy framework in your business, and how it'll help you accelerate deals and close more clients by learning from clients from yesterday to apply it to clients tomorrow. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.